All right, next up on here is Mr. Dick Hargett. Unfortunately, Dick passed away a few years ago, but his memory is here. We've got some things to say about him. He was born in Florence, Alabama. Our neighbors to the south of here. He was a fan of Ernest Tubb. He had walked down the road to hear it to get a ticket, but he couldn't get in. But they left the windows open. He forever became a fan of Ernest Tubb at that point and fell in love with music. He attended Abilene Christian College in 1947 in Texas. And then he served in the Army between 1954 and 56. He was stationed in Korea as a radio operator, so kind of a Adrian Cronauer. And he became proficient with Morse code. And how many of you here are ham radio operators? I know there's some that are Morse code proficient. If you're Morse code proficient, get ready. Go, Jesse. Now, it takes a real talent to decode that, and it would be unfair of me to leave you hanging with what it was. But here it is. He also served as a radio announcer for the Armed Forces Radio Network. He did that. We got several pictures there featuring him of that. After he left the Army, returned, he came to Natchez, Mississippi, worked at a radio station there, and then later returned to his hometown of Florence, Alabama, and worked for a radio station. And while he was there, built a 1 kilowatt transmitter from a Bond kit from that. Then he moved to Nashville. Everybody knows the big tower there on Concord Road, south of Nashville. He worked at that transmitter site for a number of years back in the day. That is the original transmitter house. That was a little before Dick's time, but I'm sure it was probably still around there when he came in. He did later move out to Nob Hill, where WSM and now WSMV studios are, and he did live mixing for the Flatt and Scruggs Martha White radio show.
Now you bake plain with Martha White. Yes, ma'am. Goodness gracious, good and light, Martha White.
And a longtime favorite of Nashville, the Waking Crew with Teddy Bart.
This is WSM Nashville, 50,000 watt clear channel broadcasting service of the National Life and Accident Insurance Company.
Some of the highlights of past Waking Crew programs.
Wake up to that a lot of mornings. In addition to his studio duties, he also worked at the Opry, mixed for the live shows there, and at the Ryman Auditorium. And then he did have the opportunity to come full circle with Ernest Tubb, and he would leave the Opry show at the Ryman on Saturday nights and go down and mix the Ernest Tubb live show.
The Texas troubadour, Ernest Tubb. I'm walking the floor over you. I can't sleep a wink, that is true.
He, in 1971, was the big move when the Opry House was built out by the river, out past the airport. He was involved with the audio installation there, became the house mixer and on-air engineer for the Opry, and he remained in that position with additional duties for the Nashville network, all the aforementioned three-letter acronyms, TNN, CMT, etc. And Dick retired in November of 1992. And we've got a couple of gentlemen here that got to work with him and have some words to say.
As far as Nashville, he would probably be the first consistent career live sound mixer.
I would say so, yeah.
Because he was
every show was every week he was mixing that show. So, yeah, I guess you and probably mixed a lot of the house shows that came into it. Well, pretty much during the week, he would wire things. He would wire punch blocks. He would
Build
run
stuff,
wiring. He would wire XLR connectors. He would make snakes. He would build. We had a bunch of little Heathkit amplifiers that we used as QC amps over the tape machines. And Dick loved to build those little Heathkits. He would just build all day long, and then when the weekend came around, he would be the opera mixer.
But I mean, I'd go up there to sit down at the console, and if we got there a little early and watch him there, he would always like set his faders exactly, where he wanted,
He would set the faders to basically
0.
a unity position,
Yep.
and then he'd adjust the input gains on the strip to make the things.
Yep.
He liked those faders straight up.
Yep. And he always did at the console, he always had the drums backwards because he wanted the kick drum closest to him. He didn't care about the overheads over in the far end. He wanted stuff closest.
He'd be just exactly opposite of what everybody does.
Yeah, he would do his way. What was closest to him is what he wanted to touch on the console.
That's a great method.
So I had to deal with that. Because you didn't dare change his workflow.
Dick was an interesting guy. He was quiet, and he didn't want a lot of friends. But if you were his friend, you were Dick's friend, and he was extremely loyal to you. Just a funny guy. You couldn't help but crack up around him a lot of times.
He was funny.
And then you would ask Dick's opinion. You remember this, Ken. You'd say, "Well, Dick, what do you think about changing out these speakers and doing it?" And Dick would say, get down with his hand like this. Not going to get my dog in that fight.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Everybody said Dick was really unhappy. And they were talking about, Dick Hargett. He said, he's a sour old guy. And apparently, when he met Faye, Dick became a happy guy.
Yep.
Faye? Accepting for Dick and the family is his wife, Faye.
Faye, on behalf of the Audio Engineering Society of Nashville, I'd like to present this Lifetime Achievement Award to you and your family for Dick. Thank you very much.
I just would like to say that the Hargett family thanks the Audio Engineering Society very much for honoring Dick, and we very, very much appreciate it. Thank you.